What's up, Bills Mafia? I got 5 takeaways from the Bills-Bears preseason game from yesterday, and I can tell you one of them. Whew! But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win a Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. What is up, Bills Mafia? Boy, yesterday, Bills, Bears, preseason, week 1. We got our ass whoop. 33-6. Listen, guys, I get it. It's preseason. And I understand. You guys are going to be like, Tommy, whoa. Calm down. It's preseason, bud. And I get that. And I told you guys that on the last video I did, the last live I did on Friday Night Lights. Don't get too concerned, especially with play calling. It's going to be very generic, very Tecmo Bowl, 4 plays. What was it? 8 plays total, 4 passing, 4 running. Very basic. But I think Tecmo Bowl had more plays than the Buffalo Bills did on Saturday, right? Like, I think we had like 4 total. It was really bad. I think overall, I don't think it was sloppy. It was sloppy football. I felt like nobody showed up pretty much. There was a few players, I guess we could say, showed up, but for the most part, the team was flat. And listen, preseason or not, I hate when teams come out flat. I hate when they're just out there, right? Especially for the guys that are trying to earn a roster spot or, get higher on the depth chart. Those guys didn't show up at all. Name one. I can't. Frank Gore Jr. maybe? He averaged 3 yards per carry. Nothing to write home about. But he was our best running back probably yesterday. Not good. Kick return game, terrible. Punt return. These guys fighting for roster spot, depth chart. Nope. Nobody. They didn't show up. Hardy didn't show up. Hamler didn't show up. I mean, it was. I expected a little bit better from the guys that are fighting for, a roster spot or positioning on the depth chart, and I didn't get that. And that's all that mattered to me. I didn't care about a win or a loss, but yesterday was pathetic. It was pathetic. And, shame on a lot of those players that came out yesterday that did nothing. Now, I don't know if that was a lot of nerves. Who knows? But I'll tell you what, week 2, I better see a lot better from those guys that are trying to win a roster spot. I'll tell you who it helped out. Guys like that aren't playing right now, like Chase Claypool, because those guys didn't make any kind of noise. I mean, Shavers, for all the hype he's gotten, I think what he made, 1 catch. I mean, I have to go back on the stats, but I didn't see anything that blew me away. Let's see here. Just, 1 catch, 10 yards. I mean, so MVS, a drop pass. One, got thrown to him once, dropped it. Hamler dropped the pass. I mean, so these guys that could have took a step forward, right, didn't. It's a shame. I don't like that. That was probably the worst part of watching yesterday's game was there wasn't anyone that took a giant leap forward that wowed me, that said, man, this guy, is going to earn that spot. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it. I'm not worried about the first team guys. I'm not worried about Khalil Shakir. I'm not worried about Curtis Samuel. I felt like those guys did well, for the limited time they were out there. But that's expected. I'm talking about the other guys. I'm talking about the guys trying to win a roster spot. Not good. Anyways, 5 takeaways from the Bills, 33-6 preseason loss versus the Bears. Shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article. All right, first up, starters see little time. The starters for the Bills played in the first quarter as promised. The offense saw more time than the defense. After holding the Bears offense to a field goal on the opening drive for Chicago, plenty of starters left after the opening drive. While Bears quarterback Caleb Williams did complete a solid pass or two, there wasn't too much to be worried about. The offense was a different story. After going 3 and out, the first teamers went out there and still didn't look great, but did get a few plays on tape before quarterback Josh Allen left the game. He was 2 for 3 passing and then left the contest before the rest of the starting offense. Allen rushed the ball, and right at the end of the first quarter, he left. When Mitch Trubisky replaced Allen, we did see some flashes from Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir. The duo both displayed some yards after catchability. Regarding top draft pick Keon Coleman, he had a share of struggle separating and only had 1 catch. Once again, though, not overly concerned with the starters, except for the offensive line that did not look good. But as far as the receivers go, as far as Josh Allen goes, I'm fine with it. It was very, very generic, basic play calling. That's not what you're going to see in the regular season. I would hope not, and I know it's not going to be. So I'm not overly concerned right now with that unit, except for maybe the offensive line that just didn't come to play. They better show more next week because you got to run block way better, and you got to pass protect better. I thought their pass protection was okay. I didn't think it was terrible yesterday, but I also didn't. They didn't wow me, right? But I thought it was okay. But the run blocking was atrocious. We're never going to get a run game going if that's how it's going to be. They got to be better because that was bad. All right, next one. By the way, Mitch Trubisky. Let's talk real quick, Mitch Trubisky. I was excited when Mitch Trubisky came back to Buffalo. I thought he was a really solid backup for us when we signed him a few years back. I still think he's better than Kyle Allen and Matt Barkley. But I see why Pittsburgh fans wanted him the hell off the field last year over Rudolph. That was terrible yesterday. He was missing wide open guys in the end zone. He looked bad. So hopefully we never have to see Mitch Trubisky in a game unless it's at the end of a fourth quarter where we're way up and he's just there to hand off the ball and kneel the ball down. Fine. Other than that, man, I from what I saw yesterday, it did not look good. Now, can he redeem himself next week in the third game? Sure he can. But woof, man, not good. And the other guy, Shane Buechele, whatever the hell his name is, I understand that the Bills coaching staff likes what they're seeing in camp, blah, 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 blah. He looked terrible. I'm sorry. He was bad. He was bad. So I don't care what anyone says. Not satisfied with him either. Get him the hell off the team. Put him on the practice squad. Fine. But as far as backup goes right now, little tiny bit concerned. Not overly concerned at the moment. We'll see how he does in week 2. But man, ground game concerns. And it was. And that was because the offensive line, I felt like, a little bit too. But anyways, Allen and the passing game didn't really get going, but compared to the ground game, it certainly did. James Cook and fourth-round rookie Ray Davis did not have much to work with. The offensive line didn't do a very good job creating any sort of space for the running backs. That has to improve, and I agree. I totally agree. I mean, what is James Cook and Ray Davis supposed to do when there's 2 or 3 defenders in their face right when they got, the ball in their hands? There's not much they can do at that point. The offensive line was really soft yesterday. There was no space to run between the tackles. They were letting defenders in the backfield right away. It was a poor job by that offensive line, for sure, especially creating spaces, run blocking, all that good stuff. They just were not good. I will say, James Cook, man, I know you guys like him, and I still think he's going to have a pretty good year. All-purpose yards, he'll probably have 1,300 or so. But when his rookie deal is done, I don't see him sticking around. He's poor between the tackles. He's terrible at pass protection. He is awful at pass protection. Ray Davis is a step up in that department. He's also a step up in running in between the tackles because he's a bigger back. That's what he did in college, all throughout college. But he's not as fast as James Cook, so it's like one of those things, right? But yeah, James Cook is just, to me, he's a good running back, but he's not doing it for me as far as, like, if I was the GM, if I was Brandon Beane and his deal's coming up, I'm definitely not re-signing him. That's just me. Y'all can say what you want about that or feel how you want to feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this year he bounces back. Not bounces back because he had a decent season, but maybe this year he does more than I think he's going to do. How about that? And and I understand too, the offensive line also has to do their job. They do, and I get it. If the offensive line plays like what they did yesterday, then I also understand it's not totally on him either. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not overly sold on James Cook being here long term after his rookie deal, or being here at all after his rookie deal. How about that? Von and Matt don't play, which is no surprise. While not an on-field takeaway, we did learn how the Bills plan to handle Von Miller and Matt Milano. It was a slow and steady approach. Both of the defenders did not play against the Bears, but they were on the sideline at least. Miller and Milano are hoping for bounce-back seasons in 2024 after dealing with various injuries over the past year. Yeah, man. How are they going to handle that? You may not see either one in the preseason. Though I would think they would kind of want Matt Milano in there just for a series or two to knock that rust off, because Von Miller at least had playing time towards the end of the season when he returned. He was back by the Jaguar game. So I understand if they want to do the veteran thing. Von, doesn't really need to be out there. But Matt Milano, I kind of feel like they need to have him out there for a series or two next week. Though I won't be too upset if they don't either. I'll understand it. But he's going to have to get in there eventually in the regular season, right? So, so there's going to be a point where you're going to have to hold your breath, and hopefully he's ready to go. So for me, if it was my decision, go in there a series or two. Let's see how the knee feels. Let's knock the leg feels. Let's knock the rust off. But that's coach's decision. All right, next up, return questions. And the battle to be the Bills kick returner did not go very well. Against the Bears, KJ Hamler got the first look at it and fumbled once. On top of that, while playing with the second-team offense, he had a drop as well. But Hamler was dealt a favor by defensive back Daquan Hardy. In the second half, the sixth-round rookie got his look at returning and had a questionable moment. He fair caught a punt inside his own 5-yard line. You don't see that very often because it's not a good decision. This position battle remains open. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell Hardy was doing there. When I was watching the game, I'm like, what? What are you doing? You get out of there. Let it go into the back of the end zone so we can get the ball at the 20. Instead, now the offense is starting at their own 5. Why are you doing this? And that could be a little bit of nerves as well. Like his first game, he's worrying about maybe just catching the ball well, not muffing it, whatever. But you got to know where you're at, bud. Right? You got to know where you're at when you're doing that. And Hamler, bud, fumbling on the kick return. There's nobody even by you. Like, what are you doing? Neither one impressed me. But once again, it's week 1. They got time to make up for it. They got 2 more games in a preseason to earn that spot. But you got to be a little concerned at this point in that department because neither guy flashed. So we'll see what happens there. But, man, it's just like all these guys yesterday, like I said earlier, what the most disappointing thing is all these guys that are fighting for these roster spots and depth chart positioning just came out flat. Didn't execute, played sloppy. And I'll tell you who that is helping. Guys like Chase Claypool, for instance, who is on the bottom right now. Well, guess what? MVS came in, dropped the pass, which is no surprise. No surprise. First pass thrown to him, he drops it. He's out of the game. I mean, the guy has butterfingers. Why did we sign a guy that has terrible drop percentage? That was his issue in Green Bay. That was his issue in Kansas City. And it's going to be his issue in Buffalo. We had enough of that problem over the last 3 seasons when we've been top 5 in drop percentage. And we get a guy who's sloppy, butterfingers, can't catch a wide open pass. But that's helping Chase Claypool because Claypool may come in. He may be available next week. Hamler dropping passes. Just throwing that out there. But as far as the first team goes, by the way, Allen, Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Keon Coleman, they're going to be fine. I'm not concerned about the first team starters. All those guys are fine. Like, I thought actually Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, they looked good yesterday. I thought they came to play, actually. Yards after catch looked good. I thought Curtis Samuel played really good. I thought Khalil Shakir brung it. Right? Keon Coleman, separation issues. I didn't see it. I saw him open quite a few times. But the play wasn't designed for him. Or Mitch Trubisky didn't look for him. Like, I thought he was fine. I wouldn't be too concerned about that at all. And like I said, basic play calling. Like they're not going to show you everything. Joe Brady wasn't going to show you anything yesterday, and neither was McDermott on the defensive side of things. Bobby Babich. So, but they need to play better too. At the same time, you can't be sloppy. You can't just be out there, because look, the results are the results. 33-6, and at the end of the day, nobody stood out in this game. Nobody made themselves look better or take that big leap forward for the coaching staff to go, okay, we need this guy on the roster. Nobody. So next week is a big – the next 2 weeks are huge for this team. All right, here we go. McDermott's silver lining. McDermott, jeez. Y'all know how I feel about Sean McDermott. I'm like, it's just like one of those things. It's like a love-hate relationship for me and him, man. While just a preseason game, Buffalo head coach Sean McDermott is not going to be happy. Plenty of points went on the scoreboard in the second half against players who will have a tough time making this team. Even so, his team took more than 10 penalties and really got beat up in all 3 phases of the game. However, we have a silver lining. The Bills hired former NFL referee John Perry this offseason to help McDermott challenging plays. The coach is notoriously bad at it in his career. Matter of fact, he's second worst in the NFL in challenging plays, behind Mike McDaniel, who was actually first. I didn't even know that. I thought McDermott was going to be number one, but it's not. It's Mike McDaniels, which is surprising. But McDermott was 2 for 2 on challenges against the Bears in 2018. McDermott won 3 challenges in that regular season. That is the only time he has ever won more than 2 challenges in an entire season. Perry getting 2 right in one game, what a turnaround. And I agree. I mean, thank God we got this guy to assist and help Coach Sean McDermott with that, because Sean McDermott has been notoriously bad at challenging plays. Yes, I 1,000% agree at that. And yeah, John, I felt like Perry did an excellent job with that yesterday. And I said it right in the beginning when we signed him. What a great signing that was, to have Perry up there helping out Sean McDermott with the challenging plays, and just letting the players know that's on the field too. Like, hey, this is a hold. This is what the refs are looking at, right? So we should have an advantage with that as far as penalties. Like, I expect this team to not have a lot of penalties this year. Like, we should know the rights and wrongs and what the league's looking for, what the referees are looking at in these games. So I'm hoping that also helps, right? Because you don't want a lot of penalty yards against you. But yeah, yesterday, guys, my takeaway in general was just sloppy. By the way, Sam Martin too. You want another takeaway? He's terrible. He is terrible. He had a good punt to start, and I'm like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. Maybe Sam Martin's been doing this. He's been doing his workouts, and maybe something's going on I didn't know about with Sam. Maybe Sam's coming back around and got a little youth movement, youth juice in him, right? It's coming back down to the, feeling like the young Sam Martin. But no, his second punt, he shanked it. He had another bad punt later in the game. He's just not very good, especially in Buffalo. Why are you bringing back a guy that doesn't have a good leg, or a really strong leg, that is, in an environment like Buffalo, in that stadium, which we all know the winds get crazy, the flags are flying everywhere. That's why the Buffalo Bills drafted Matt Araiza. And unfortunately, the whole thing that happened with that situation, now we don't have Matt Araiza. We had to go out and get Sam Martin, who actually played decent his first year. I'm not going to lie, sit here and tell you Sam Martin actually was pretty good. That's why he got an extension. But it's like, boom, Father Time hit him after that year. And he was bad last year. And he's looking bad already to start this year. And we cut Browning to add more depth at the safety position because we got guys hurt. It's like, why didn't you sign Browning back at some point to have him compete with Sam Martin? And if it's not Browning, bring somebody else in. Instead, they don't. And they're just going to ride the ship with Sam Martin. Let's just hope we don't punt a lot. Because field position is everything, especially late in the season and in January football, playoff football. I'm not sold on Sam Martin. I think it's bad. Tyler Bass, I thought he looked okay yesterday. He made his both field goals, 2 for 2. I thought the kickoffs were a little strange. The fact that he kept kicking them in the end zone, getting the offense to the 30. Now, was that a coaching decision by our wonderful special teams coach, Smiley, who, by the way, should have been fired? Why is he not fired? Why is he still special teams coach here when our special teams has been really bad over the last two seasons, or has gotten worse? I don't get it. Sean, you must have some kind of photos or something of Sean McDermott. Something's going on there. Because you're telling me you fire Ken Dorsey, you don't fire Matthew Smiley? Come on, man. He's just as bad. He did just as poorly as a job. And he's doing it again. And I don't understand. You got the new kickoff rule. Why aren't you? And now, mind you, I don't know this. Now he could have not told Tyler Bass to kick it into the end zone. But if he did, why aren't you practicing kicking it in between, the 20 and the 5? Like, for field position, what are you doing? What? Like, this is do you know the new rules here? Like, it's mind-boggling. Like, stuff like that just drives me insane. But as far as field goals, all right, pass 2 for 2. I'm cool with that. As far as stats go yesterday, so we'll go through some of the stats. Mr. Trubisky, 10 for 18, 82 yards, 4.6 average, not very good. Shane Bechet, 6 for 10, 53 yards, 5.3 average, 1 interception. Josh Allen, 2 for 3, 22 yards, 7.3, which that's fine. Preseason, he wasn't in there much. Rushing, believe it or not, you know who led our team in rushing? Shane Bechet. 3 carries, 22 yards. Frank Gore Jr., 7 carries, 21 yards. He averaged 3 yards carry. Trubisky, 3 carries, 12 yards. Evans, 3 carries, 11 yards. Josh Allen, 1 for 7. James Cook, 4 carries, 2 yards. He averaged half a yard per carry. Ray Davis, 5 carries, 2 yards, 0.4 average. I mean, that's freaking miserable. That is fucking awful. I mean, I gotta see better than that. That might be one of the worst stat lines for running backs I have seen on this team in a long time. Like, that is some shit stat line. I don't care if it's preseason or not. You can't average a fucking yard per carry. Like, what the hell? I get the offensive line was not very good, but that is fucking miserable. You got to be better than that. Receiving, Khalil Shakir, 3 receptions, 28 yards, 9.3 average. Yards after catch guy, yak. Curtis Samuel, 2 carries, 23 yards, 11.5 average. More yak. Ray Davis, who had it. There we go. So Ray Davis at least stepped up in the receiving department. 3 receptions, 19 yards, 6.3. Frank Gore had some receptions, 3 receptions, 16 yards, 5.3. And the rest are just nothing, right? The one pass to MVS, like I said, he dropped it, so he's 0 for 0, 0 for 0 with a drop. Dalton Kincaid, 1 reception, 7 yards. He wasn't in there long. So, yeah, nobody, Keon Coleman, you all want to know Coleman's stats. He had 1 catch for 8 yards. That's it on 3 targets. So he was targeted 3 times. Terrell Shavers, 1 catch, 10 yards, targeted twice. Hamler, 1 catch, 9 yards, targeted twice. He also had a drop. Defense, sacks. Dorian Williams had 1 sack. And that's it, guys. I mean, we were not getting home at all. It's like the story of the Buffalo Bills. We put the pressure, but we can't get the sack. And sometimes the quarterbacks are sitting back there just with all the time in the world to throw the ball. And that's a problem. But once again, week 1, a lot of the starters weren't in there. Very basic play calling. I get it. I'm not overly concerned, but I expected to see a little bit better than 1 sack the whole game. These are just bad stats. I mean, these are bad stats overall. Kick return. Evans had our best return. Our best return. He had 1 for 24 yards. Hamler had 2 for 21 yards, 10.5 average. Andy Isabella had 1 for 20. Daquan Hardy had 1 for 17. Punt returns, Hamler had 1 for 15. Tyler Bass, like I told you, 2 for 2 with a long of 49. And then Sam Martin altogether had 6 punts, 46, but he also shanked a few. So overall, just just the shit stats. I mean, I gotta see better. We gotta see a little bit better next week. Not so much from the starters, but from these guys trying to make this roster and trying to, position themselves better on the depth chart. So we'll see, if guys like Chase Claypool is available next week. We'll see if he can jump these guys next week. Because now I kind of feel like it's almost fair game between some of these receivers because they had such a poor performance in week 1. Maybe Chase Claypool can maybe make some noise and get on this roster. I still think it's a long shot because he's missed so much camp. But with yesterday's performance, it kind of felt like it opened the door a little bit for him to maybe, turn some heads, coaching, that is, turn some heads his way and get him on this roster. But it is a long shot. All right, guys. So what's your takeaway from this game? Go ahead and comment below. I'm going to actually do another video soon. Probably tomorrow I'll drop another video. Stock up, stock down. I'll do that video. And by the way, I'm going to do that video all year. I'm going to do these takeaway videos all year long. So get used to them. Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.